everybody, welcome back. You know what, I did that in the last video and I felt like a fucking idiot. I was like, oh my god, I look like I don't know how to talk or read. And I do know how to talk and I do know how to read. I'm just new to this whole YouTube world thing, you know? Anyways, I'm Karina. Welcome to Karina's Bookshelf. Anyways, I'm glad you guys are back. I hope you're back anyway. I wanted to do today a cart of all of the fall books that I want to read this fall season. It is 40 plus books. It's gonna be a long video. I hope it's not gonna be as long as it was last time. I'm learning how to edit and stuff, so you can get this you know, these 40 plus books, not like a whole hour long video, you know. So we're gonna go through it fast. These are all new books. Some of them are ones that, yes, I started and haven't finished, but I want to get to them this fall season and finish them. I have some other videos coming up soon too, so I hope you make yourself comfortable and get ready for this video. Okay, so let's get started. First book that I want to read this fall is The Luminaries. The Luminaries. Susan Dennard is one book I want to get to. It's a YA book. It is. I have no idea what it's about. It says it's enthralling from the first page. The Luminaries lures you into a misty darkness rift with thrills and romance. Living nightmares make stalk across the pages, but this book is a paranormal fantasy dream, and when you will love every second of devouring its mysteries. Ew. So yeah, Leigh Bardugo also did a little blurb here. Draws you in and leaves you begging for more. Rich with tension, atmosphere, and finesse, you'll want to get lost in the world of the Luminaries again and again. So I am ready. I want to read it. So Marissa Mayer also wrote something on this. So I'm ready to read this book. It looks interesting. So we'll see what that one's all about. The next book is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And this is the second book to did this last time and I forgot the name of the first book. And it's still a big, it's right over there. I can get up and go get it, but I'm not going to do that. So it is the first book. This is the second book to the first one. And this is, again, is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. It's Carissa Broadbent. And again, this is the part 2. And I can't wait to get to this. This is so exciting. It's got vampires in it. And it's definitely a good fall season book to read. So I can't wait to read it. I want to read it. I love it. I love this. I love the first one, and I cannot wait for the second one. So there's that. Yes. Next book is Kingdom of the Feared. Yes, I know I have not jumped on the bandwagon on this one. I have so many books I want to read. Again, a lot of them are series, and I haven't got to them. There's so many other books that are coming out. I'll check on my phone later, but we'll go over that. And yeah, so this is another book I want to get into. So it's Kingdom of the Feared by Kerri Maniscalco. Last video, I told you guys I was on the 4th book of Zodiac Academy. This is a big, thick book. They get thicker and thicker as they get, you know, as they get up in the number. There's 8 books right now that I don't think there's a 9. I'm not sure. But this is Zodiac Academy, book 4. I'm towards the end. I'm almost done with it, so I want to finish it. I love it. I love this book. I love the series. I think it's an awesome book. It's a fascinating world. I think it's whimsical. I love it so much. It's got so many fays in it. And like I said, it's fantastic. I just love it. I mean, it's not the best. I mean, it's not there's some mistakes in the book. It's not written well, but it is a good book. It's a fast read. I think it looks huge, but it's totally a fast read, and I love it. Kind of like The Boys of Tommen and Keeping 13 and Binding 13, those Irish boy books that look so thick. I'm sure you guys have heard of them. And they're so thick, and the print is so tiny, but the book is so fast paced. It's so good that you get by it so fast, and that's how I feel like I read these books. You know, they're so good that you just want to keep reading and you don't want to put it down. And that's how this book is, to me anyways. I don't know how other readers are perceiving these, you know, whoever I've read Zodiac Academy, but I think most of them will say the same, that they love this book, and it is a fantastic journey, I think, reading them. They're fun. I love them. So again, that was Zodiac Academy. I have to finish, I know, Belladonna. That's another one that I have to read and get done with. I'm barely, not even that much through. But also this was a good one too. And then I think another book came out that I wanted to read, and I just pounced on another one and started, and I love this one. And then, well, I guess you guys know how it goes sometimes. When other books come out, you want to hurry up and read them, and you put aside another one, and God knows. So I got to finish that one. And this one, it is Signa opened her eyes, and death was there before, watching, waiting. So her presence was intoxicating and familiar, and it took Signa by surprise, as it always did. Withering shadows cast into the vague shape of a human, so dark and void of light that it was painful to look at him, and yet looking at him was all Signa could do, all she could ever do. She was drawn to him like a moth to a flame, and so it seemed was he to her. So yeah, I have to finish this. She's also the Adeline Grace. What other book does she do? Does she do? No. Oh gosh, can't remember the book she wrote. But anyways, so yeah, this is the Belladonna, and so yeah, again, I have to finish it. It's good though. It is good. You know, from what I read and what little bit I picked up on was pretty good. I am also wanting and excited to read the second part to the Crave series, and this is the second book, Crush. These pages are like kind of shredded or a little jagged a little bit. Yeah, so these are okay. I don't like when the pages are like that. I think it's pretty, but I preferably wouldn't want the pages like that. I do like the cover though, and this is by Tracy Wolff. She's got just to have it on here. Sometimes it doesn't have the whole series in it. Yeah, it doesn't show on here, but she has 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 5. They just got 5 books on this one, and this one's got gargoyles, vampires. I mean, you're talking about fays and witches, and it's so cool. I really like the first one. I'm excited to get into the second one. I may have to read a little bit again on the first one just to catch up, to kind of help me remember a little bit about it. I know it's taken up in a school somewhere in Alaska somewhere, and it's hidden, and it's a girl whose parents died, and she is taken in by her uncle under his wing, but he runs a dark academia school, you know, in Alaska somewhere, and he runs the whole school. So she has genes, I guess, you know, that she has powers that she didn't know she had, and the uncle explains it to her. So I think I know pretty much a little bit more about how it starts and what happens. But I still want to refresh my memory and kind of try to remember most of it, you know, what's the main plot of the story, which I think I have a vague memory of it a little bit. So, but yeah, I definitely want to get into Crush. So that's by Tracy Wolff. And so, next book is Ghosted. Who read this book? as you can tell, I love Destiny Sidwell. I love Sarah Carrillo. I love Larry Reeds. I love Olivia Reeds-Alate. I love Rachel Lauren, or Lauren Reeds, I think it is. But who read this one? The Second Chance Romance. And for me, it feels like a fall winter romance. You see Ghosted and you think, oh, it's a spooky book. It's not. I don't think it is. Anyways, he's a troubled young actor, Hollywood's newest heartthrob, struggling with fame as the star of the latest superhero franchise. Through scandal after scandal, addiction on top of addiction, a flurry of paparazzi hunt him as he fights to conquer his demons. She's a single mother, assistant manager at a grocery store, existing in a monotony with her 5-year-old daughter. Every day when she goes to work, lurid tabloids surround her, the face of a notorious bad boy, hunting her from their covers. A man and a woman living vastly different lives, but that's not always the case. Once they were just a boy and a girl who bonded over comic books and fell in love unexpectedly. When Kennedy Garfield met Jonathan Cunningham back in high school, she knew he had all the makings of a tragic hero. With stars in his eyes and her heart on her sleeve, the pair ran away together to follow their dreams. But dreams sometimes turn into nightmares. Wow. So anyways, I think one of them read this, and they said it was really good, so I picked it up. So that's on my list to read for the fall. This one's called The Last One, a novel with Will Dean. It's I think it's a thrilling it says here, thrilling and terrifying in equal measure with a brilliantly heart-stopping ending. So good. And has she lost her mind, or is it that what they want her to think? When Cal steps outboard the exclusive cruise liner RMS Atlantica, it's the start of a vacation of a lifetime with her new love, Pete. On their first night, they explore the ship, eat, dance, and make friends, but when Kaz wakes up the next morning, Pete is missing. Ooh. And when she walks out into the corridor, all the cabin doors are open. To her horror, she soon realizes that the ship is completely empty. Ooh, that sounds good. No passengers, no crew, nobody but her. The Atlantica is streaming into the mid-Atlantic, and Kaz is the only person on board. But that's just the beginning of her terrifying journey in this white-knuckle mystery. Oh my God, this sounds good. By Will Dean. The Last One by Will Dean. This sounds so good. I cannot wait to read this. You know who? Gabby Reed. She's the one that recommended this book. The Last One. She's really into suspense, thriller, horror books and stuff. This is another one I want to read. We read it for my book club because I have a book club on Facebook, and it's called Friends, Books, Wines, Friends, and Books, or Books, Friends, and Wine. God, I'm horrible at remembering things. Anyways, One Dark Window, Richard Gilley, and I want to give it another try. I want to start again because I don't think I gave it a good chance, honestly. Honestly, I don't even remember reading it. Isn't that funny? No, it's not funny. Anyways, it's One Dark Window by Rachel Gilling. And so I'm going to give it another chance. It's a fantasy. Like I said, I love fantasy books in the fall, so I'm going to really, really try to get into this book. I shouldn't even really, really try because it should be a good book, so I should just read it, Anyways, I think that's going to be I'm going to be optimistic and say it's going to be a good book. So, that's going to be a good book. Next book is called Pestilence, The Four Horsemen by Laura Tallahassee. Or she did the A Strange Hymn, which is actually going to start coming up. I'll show you in a minute. But I haven't read this. I heard a lot about it. It's called Pestilence. And then the next one is War. And I think the next one is, I don't know. Don't ask me. Because I don't know. And I heard good things about the series. So I saw it in Barnes & Noble and said, okay, I want to take it and pick it up and read it because it sounds good. So that's what I did. And oh, here they are. They came to Earth. Pestilence, war, famine, death, 4 horsemen riding their screaming steeds, racing to the corners of the world. 4 horsemen with the power to destroy all of humanity. They came to Earth and they came to end us all. Wow. But they're really handsome too. Okay. Same author, Laura Talassa. The Berenger series, book 2. I read book 1 a while back. Again, it's something I'm gonna have to kind of make my mind, refresh my memory and reread, not reread, but kind of skim through it and try to help me remember book 1, which was Rhapsodic. Yeah. So, and these are the new covers. The older ones look a little different. They redid the covers on the books, and these are nicer. I like them better. So this is part 2. So that's what I'm gonna read. Okay. These were recommended by Sarah Carrillo, and what these were are retellings of like Snow White. The one I have here is of Sleeping Beauty retelling, Beauty and the Beast, and Little Mermaid. And I have all of them. I think I have all of them. But this one is A Dream So Wicked. So this is a retelling of Sleeping Beauty. And I cannot wait to read it. But look at this cover. Look at the colors. Oh, I just love it. I mainly picked this one to read first because of the cover. It is beautiful. I just love the colors. But yeah, it's supposed to be a retelling of Sleeping Beauty. And it's by Tessa Noah Odette. If you can see that. I got this on Amazon. So, and it looks like a really, really thick book. It's not floppy. So it's one of those, thick books. Kind of hard. So yeah, there's that one. It says here, it's a long one. I'll just read the first paragraph. It's a vicious rivalry. Shit, I can't fucking book. A forbidden desire, a curse only her and enemy can break. After 20 years stuck in a fey convent with no word from whoever abandoned her there, why do they gotta come up with these weird names? Bryony Rose is all out of hope, but when her parents suddenly claim her and reveals she's a lost Fae princess, she's burdened with the weight of a kingdom on the brink of collapse. To secure her family's precocious position, she must marry a wealthy human stranger. She would have done her duty with pride if it weren't for Thorn Blackwood. Thorn Blackwood harbors 3 things: a secret name, a love for baked goods, and a long-standing plan for revenge on the family that destroyed his own. Miss Rose, a single touch, he controls her, and through that control, he tricks her into triggering a curse that sends her family into 100 years of enchanted sleep. But Miss Rose isn't the soft princess she expected her to be. She's just as sharp and cunning as he is, and when she traps him in a bargain to reverse her family's curse, he has no choice but to join a tense alliance. He too stands to gain from her plans, for if they break the sleeping spell, his own family will return from the forced slumber. To accomplish their goal, they must cooperate on one task: pair Bryony with a husband who will make her parents proud. If she should be easy, Thorn has connections while Bryony has wit and beauty. What neither of them expect is the forbidden desire that burns in their darkest hearts. Okay. Seems pretty easy. I don't know. Sounds interesting. We'll see what it is. We'll see how it goes. If I even get to it this season. Next book I started, and then I started another book, and I ended up reading that book, which was, of course, A Court of Thorns and Roses. And then, at the same time, I wanted to read The Assassin's Blade. But there's so many people that have so many ways of reading this book because it's got so many in there. I don't know. People say there's like 12. I bought the whole set. And they said to start with Assassin's Blade. So I started with Assassin's Blade. And then I said that it should start with the next one after Assassin's Blade first. And then you don't have to read this one. So anyway, I don't know how it goes. I have to look it up on the computer and figure out how. But I did, I think, so they have the rest of them on the back. But like I said, I also read Court of Thorns and Roses. And so now I want to finish this. And of course, everyone knows what this is about. I'm not going to go into it or anything. But there's that I want to finish. And then there's also A Court of Mist and Fury that I want to finish as well. That's next. I heard this book is really good. The Hollow Vows. These Hollow Vows, I mean. I also want to get into this book. I just want to read. I love fantasy. I just want to read fantasy all this summer, all this fall season. There's The Curse of Saints that I also want to finish reading, that I started as well. I start all kinds of books and then I stop reading and then I gotta start all over again. But this is one I want to start and finish. So The Curse of Saints, and this one is by Kate Dramas. And Kate Dramas, is she? She has written, God, these pages. I don't know. I don't think it's on there, but I think she's written something that I've read before. The next book I want to read is also a popular one. I got this at Barnes and Noble, and it's If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I hear this is really good as well, and I want to get to that too. Sorry, my allergies. I feel like my allergies are coming. My nose is itching. I hear it's a rare and extraordinary novel, it says, and it's also gripping, fascinating. It's just, I hear it's so good, so I can't wait to read it. I hope I get a chance to get to it this fall or soon. There's so many books I have that I just wish I can read. The other books I have is, another one that I like is Cackle, that I want to read. I'm not sure what this is really about. I want to say maybe it's about witches or powers or something, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure. But it's wiry, dark, and delicious. Yeah, witchy. So that is also one book I want to get into. Another funny book that I want to get into, is this book. This looks so funny. A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Ollie. I think this is going to be funny. I love funny books too, because I think that it's going to be kind of like a palate cleanser, kind of like something to kind of give it some type of a different place to read, something funny instead of something dark, romantic, and spicy. And then you go to something that's kind of romantic, comedy, funny, fantasy though, So yeah, I do. I think this is going to be a fun read. So I can't wait to to read that one. Like their movies, The next one that I also got was The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I want to read this one as well. I heard good things about it, so I haven't read any of his books. I haven't read any of Riley Sager's books. I'm not even really a thriller suspense kind of. I want to read a book. Anyways, this is, Riley Sager, The Last Time I Lied. I really want something that really makes me scared to go to sleep. I'm looking for a book like that. If you guys know of a book that I can read that will make me scared to go to sleep at night, I want a book. I'll read that book. I'm looking for a book like that. And that's kind of what I look for in suspense, mystery, thriller, horror. I set the bar high for that. I think that they're fun reads. They're fast. I think they're fast paced from what I hear from other people, because they're like suspense, and it's got, that it's just a story that needs to be told, and there's an end and it happens. It doesn't drag out like fantasy stories that, that actually has a story and a plot and an ending, and it could also be another story with it. But yeah, like with the horror books, I want something that really scares me. Like when I was young, we had those. I'm old, I'm 46, so you got books that, not books, but movies like Freddy Krueger, Jason, God, Michael Myers. That fucker scared the shit out of me sometimes. The music behind it too, I couldn't even hear it. They used to play it on the radio sometimes, the DJs and stuff. I'd be like, fuck no, I'm not listening to that shit. Anyways, back to books. So the next one, again, I wanted to start it, something, squirrel, In my dreams, I hold a knife. Again, I want to read this. Her Good Things. This is by Ashley Winstead. Winstead. So yeah, this is, heard nothing but good things about this one. It's really I think it's a psychological thriller. I like those two. Those are good. So this one's good. Beautiful writing, juicy secrets, and drumbeat suspense. And that's a blurb by Andrea Bart. So yeah, I wanna read this. This sounds really good. Other show books. I have The Night Swim by Megan Golden. It's a blistering plot and a crisp writing, an unputtable read. And this is also a thriller. And in The Night Swim, ever since it says like a true crime podcast became an overnight sensation, and it set an innocent man free. So yeah, this is about mystery thriller. And then I also got The Book Eaters. This one by Sunny Dean looks really interesting. V.E. Schwab devoured this. This truth is found between the stories we're fed and the stories we're hunger for. Out of the Yorkshire moors lives a secret line of people whom books are food, and who retain all the book's content after eating it. To them, spy novels are peppery snacks. Romance novels are sweet and delicious. Eating a map can help them remember destinations, and children, when they misbehave, are forced to eat dry, musty pages from dictionaries. Devon is part of the family, an old and reclusive clan of book eaters. Her brothers grow up feasting on stories of valor and adventure, and Devon, like all other book eater women, is raised on a carefully curated diet of fairy tales and cautionary stories. But real life doesn't always come with happy ending, as Devon learns when her son is born with a rare and darker kind of hunger. Not for books, but for human minds. So that's interesting. I can't wait to read this one. I think I'm going to put this up there on top with the others, because this one sounds so good. I can't wait to read this one. So that's by Sunny Dean. This is another one that's gone kind of viral, and that's The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I think she also did the Gambit. I think it's the Gambit series. I don't know. The Inheritance Games. That's what they are. And this is another one, a suspense thriller. It's to catch a serial killer, you have to think like one. So this is another one I want to read. There's 4 books. There's Killer Instinct, All In, Bad Blood, and they're the same author from the Inheritance Games. So it's pretty cool. They're about cold cases that are about to get hot. So yeah, I heard they're really good. They're a YA book, but I'm hearing great things about it. So that's The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And then we have, which is another read everybody has read already, and I'm like behind, on getting on the bandwagon on this one is The Haunting Adeline. This is Haunting, yeah. So this is one I want to get to as well. This would be a good Halloween read. So I can't wait. There's part 1 and part 2. This is part 1. And this is Haunting. So I can't wait to read that one. This is also from the same author as Carissa Broadbent from the one, The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This comes after part 1 of this book. And this comes after it. And this is called The Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. And I don't know nothing about this one, but this is supposed to be a spin-off off of that other book. And so I can't wait to read this one because it's got vampires in it, and I love vampires. They're my favorite. So I love vampire books. So this again will be a perfect fall read. So I can't wait to read this one. This was supposed to be really good too. Actually, this was better actually than the first book, the spin-off book. Here's another one that kind of got me excited to read. I love the cover to it. It's so 80s, 90s, back when VHS was back and stuff. And this is called My Best Friend's Exorcism. And this looks so hilarious. I mean, not hilarious, but it looks good. And from what I hear, it's supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be high school sophomores Abby and Gretchen have been best friends since 4th grade. But after an evening of skinny dipping goes disastrously wrong, Gretchen begins to act different. She's moody, she's irritable, and bizarre incidents keep happening whenever she's nearby. Abby's investigation leads her to some startling discoveries, and by the time the story reaches its terrifying conclusion, the fate of Abby and Gretchen will be determined by a single question. Is their friendship powerful enough to beat the devil? Ooh, that's scary. Just the cuckoo. Look at that. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be a good read too. So I can't wait to read that one. And then, oh, this is a new one that came out. And this is interesting because I saw her a post when she got all her books in, and she was excited. The author was excited. This is Assistant to the Villain, and it's by Hannah Nicole Mayer. Mayer. You can read it. And I'm just butchering everybody's freaking name on here. And it's supposed to be good. Assistant wanted. Notorious high-ranking villain seeks loyal, level-headed assistant for unexpected office duties, supporting staff for random mayhem and terror and other dark things in general. Discretion a must, extra benefits. So, yeah, so this looks like a funny book to read. It sounds like she kind of falls in love with a villain. But, yeah, it's supposed to be a fun read, so I can't wait to read this. Let's see, what else do we have? Ooh, I saw this as a recommendation for people who actually love to read. Who loved. Well, no, yeah, loved. God, I'm so stupid. I'm excited. I get all hyped up. I want to talk and talk too fast and then I mess up. Anyways, people who loved reading Fourth Wing would love Dragon Ball because they have dragons in it. So I got this book off of recommendation off of I don't know what, maybe on Instagram somewhere. But this is Dragon Ball by L.R. Lamb. I didn't even read to know what it was about. I just freaking bought it. This is a queen norm cast that challenges the roles of gender and sexuality. Dragonfall is a page turner that keeps you on the edge of your seat with phenomenal world building and jaw-dropping twists. Leaves you as breathless as flying on a dragon back. So yeah, I don't know what I bought. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But Dragonfall, if you guys want to know what it's about, that's the name. There's the author, L.R. Lamb. You guys can look it up and see. I don't know what it's about either. I just bought it. They said dragons. Oh, okay. They said if you like Fourth Wing, yeah, I'll put it in my basket. Next book is Tress of Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I've never read anything fantasy about Brandon Sanderson. I hear he's a good writer though, a good fantasy sci-fi writer. And I heard good things about this book. Again, I didn't really read anything about it, but I'll read you a bit in the back. It says, "Dear reader, I started writing this in secret as a novel just for my wife. She urged me to share it with the world and alongside 3 other secret novels. With the support of readers worldwide, it grew into the biggest Kickstarter campaign of all time. I'm excited to present the first book to you at last, a different type of Brandon Sanderson story, one I wrote when there was no time constraint, no expectations, and no limits on my imagination. Come be a part of my magic, Brandon Sanderson." So I can't wait to read this. It sounds good. Okay, so that's that book. Oh my God, they're gonna fall. Another one I want to read sounds hilarious. It's Sign Here by Claudia Lux. It's a novel, and it is all I know is this book takes place in hell, and it's a person who works in hell who needs to try to sign over a couple to get into hell to meet his quota, I think. So I hear it's supposed to be a good read. I don't know if it's funny. It sounds hilarious to me. I think it's gonna be funny. I don't know, but I heard it was a good book. It's the most dark, twisted fun I've had in a book for ages. For ages, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. I'm running out of room. Okay, and then I have to finish part 2 of The Ballad of Never After. This is a signed copy. And this is part 2. Part 3 is coming out, I think, either October or November. So yeah, I'm gonna hurry up and read this one because the 3rd one is coming out. And we'll see what Jax is up to in this book in part 2. Told you guys it was 40 plus books. This one is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I love her books. This is gonna be interesting because this one's a fantasy. The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. This is also Dark Academia. Secrets, betrayal, seduction, power. Welcome to the Alexandrian Society. So yeah, the next book is the Atlas Paradox. So that's supposed to be part 2 of this book right here. So the Atlas 6. Don't know what it's about. I just know it's Dark Academia. I love Dark Academia. So we'll see what that's about. Again, I didn't really read into that too much. This is another kind of like a break, you know, from fantasy if I wanted to. But it's called Coach by Devney Perry. And I love her books, you know, so I'm going to go ahead and, you know, if I wanted a romance, I can go ahead and read this. It's called Coach. It's a second chance romance as well, I think. It's a football star, single dad, and one's a long time ago mine. So, yeah, I think it's a second chance romance. Sounds good, though. So I really want to watch that. I mean, read that. When I say watch, I mean, if they came out with a movie that was called Coach, you know, about that book, I would read it, you know, just like those after series. Oh my God, those series, though, as movies, you get confused because they're all every after, and after, and oh my God, I just have so many names. This is another scary book that I want to read, and it's by Nick Cutter, and it's called The Troop. I heard good things about this one too. I heard it was also like a scary book. So we'll see. Shh. Another one is called another one of those books that I bought. That you buy because you liked Fourth Wing so much. Here's another one, and this is by Rosaria Munda, and it's called Fireborn. And this one sounded like a really good book as well. Okay, there's that. Okay, and then the next book I have is called Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. Sorry if you hear that, guys. That's my dishwasher. Anyways, this is Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. And this is supposed to be they're dying for an escape. It's one island, beautiful, wild, and strange. Moreau Island is a desolate spot in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with a mysterious history of shipwrecks, cannibalism, and even rumors of murder. It's the perfect destination for the most adventurous traveler to escape everything except the truth. 6 visitors and countless secrets. 6 stunning 20-somethings are about to embark on a blissful, free-spirited journey filled with sun-drenched days and intoxicating nights, but as it becomes clearer that the group is even more cut off from civilization than they initially thought, it starts to feel like the island itself is closing in. So this is supposed to be a thriller about 20-something-year-olds who go on a trip, so we'll see what happens. And it's called Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. These other books, was another recommendation from Haley Pham, I think. And also there was somebody else who was reading this book too because she had recommended it, or somebody else had recommended it. And it was Red Rising. It's supposed to be sci-fi. I know nothing about this book. I just got it because everybody was raving about it so far. Kind of like another Fourth Wing, you know, people talking about it, hype it up. And I wanted to read it. And it's more sci-fi, I think, than it is. I mean, more sci-fi than it is fantasy. So, and that's Red Rising by Pierce Brown. And it's book 1. So there's that one. Next book is another romantic rom-com, I think. And it's called Georgie All Along. And it's by Kate Clayborn. And a girl that I think she goes back to her hometown for a little break, and she runs into her, I guess, the first person she fell in love with. And yeah, she comes unexpected with her roommate Levi Fanning, one-time troublemaker and current town hermit. But yeah, so I think they start having a kind of relationship and stuff. She goes back, but I don't know why she goes back to her hometown or what it is that she's doing. I just know she falls in love with one of her friends from school, I think, or something like that. So that one is Georgie All Along, and that's by Kate Clayborn. I love the cover. The yellow is so pretty. Okay, we got 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more books. Next book I want to read, oh my god, excuse me. Next book I want to read is called Renegades, and by Marissa Mayer, and she also did the Lunar Chronicles, but this is like a superhero book, and Sarah Carrillo actually had recommended this book, so I'm kind of excited. My son's reading it too. I told him to read it because I wanted to read it with him. So he's reading it, and I'm going to read it because it's about superheroes. So heck yeah, I want to read it. So bring it on. I'm ready. It's a thick book. I think I can do it. Bigger books I've read. There's that one, Renegades. Next book is called this has also been such a huge hype book. It's by Magnolia Parks. It's Jessa Hastings. So I'm ready to read part 1. And these books have been, I got the older books too, but this is the new copy. And she got picked up by a publisher, so this is the new covers they have for them. So I'm gonna go ahead and just leave this here for you guys. My gardener's here, guys, sorry. So there's that. Okay, and so I'm ready to read those hyped up romance books. And yes, I have not read The Housemaid. Benny, be quiet. It's okay. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I have not read it. I read The Coworker. I wasn't happy about it. It was okay. To me, it wasn't worth, but I'm gonna give this one a try. I haven't read it. I'll get to it when I get to it. I'm not too like, but we'll see. Yeah, so that's The Housemaid. And then next one is Powerless. So when I get to this, I heard Sarah Curley raved about this one, so did Destiny. I don't know who else. And that one is next. That I want to read in the fall. And last one is also a good one, but goodie. I can't talk anymore. It's the end of the video. This is the last book, and it's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. And I can't wait to read this because everyone said this is like a staple to read, to have in your suspense mystery books and stuff. So, and it's young adult and stuff, but it's a good read. It's a good book. So I can't wait to read this one. And that's it, guys. That's the last book. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a lengthy one. Grab a snack and watch it. Enjoy it. And I hope you did, if you made it to the end of the video. Okay, well, it's time to go. I'm glad I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, thanks, bye.